folks, and welcome to your NBL Canada playoff preview. I am Brett Hedges, he is Kobe K, and in the Atlantic Division, the 2-3 matchup will pit the Saint John Riptide against the Island Storm. The Island Storm took the 4-3 regular season series win over Saint John, and this should be a highly competitive matchup. Now, let's take a look at some of our head-to-head matchup numbers from this past season.
Like you mentioned, Brett, the Island Storm took the season series 4-3, but it was the Riptide that led in terms of the points per game at 110, a plus 2.5 there. The Storm were efficient from the field at 44%, plus 5 in that department, something that they're going to want to carry into the playoffs. The 3-ball was very, very close. The Riptide a plus 1 there. And on the glass, it was all Saint John, 54.6 rebounds per game, a plus 4.6 there. And again with the assists with 27.7 a game. So the Riptide really pulling away in the end. But like you said, Brett, the Island Storm led the regular season series 4-3.
Now that we've taken a look at the numbers between these two clubs, now let's take a look at how they got here specifically to this point of the year.
And with Saint John, they certainly started out this season on fire. And Brett really looked to be a force in the Atlantic Division, maybe even competing against the Halifax Hurricanes. But it was the league-imposed suspensions as a result of the incident that happened in Kitchener-Waterloo that really derailed them for a bulk of the season. And in my opinion, never at full strength, making their second place finish that much more impressive. And Brett, the key word for the Storm, I think it's consistency. Where was it? I mean, they would deliver big on one night and then not really be able to sustain it on the other night. They would beat Saint John one night by 9 and then lose to the Riptide or beat London at home and lose the following night to the visiting Titans. So the consistency that they couldn't find in the regular season, and if they want to win, they must find it in the playoffs.
And head coach of the Island Storm, Joe Salerno, offered his thoughts on the team's consistency and how that will play a factor in the playoffs, specifically on the defensive end.
Yeah, it's about consistency on the defensive end more than anything. You know, I mean, for us, you know, we struggled defensively all year. You know, we've been in the bottom 2 or 3 teams, team defense all season statistically. You know, we make it a point, and I think we do defend better now, but we still have, again, these lapses where it's almost like we're rolling the trade baskets. And in the playoffs, I mean, that just can't happen. Right. You know, that happens, you're going to find yourself exiting pretty quickly. So, I mean, for us, it's every possession. It's important to get down and defend, and, you know, we have a lot of offensive talent. Right. You know, but everyone knows that. You know, come playoff time, it's all about your defense. So, you know, I like my team, I'm confident in my team. You know, I still believe we're a team that can come out of the East. You know, we just have to string together some good games and you know, play like every possession matters.
For the Saint John Riptide, really the same sort of thing. Rob Spahn knows that they can score the ball, but they must be consistent on the defensive end.
You know, the first step is getting everybody back, and the hardest part is always in the playoffs is that first round. And we're playing a solid opponent. You know, Coach Salerno's team's always prepared. He's a great coach. They actually beat us in the series this year. So we know we got our hands full in the first round. It's not going to be easy. So we, you know, got to defend home court. That's the main thing I told my team. And you got to make defensive stops in the playoffs. You know, not one, but you got to continue to make 3 or 4 stops on the other end. We got to run them off the 3-point line. You know, no matter how many points we have them down, we have to, you know, keep the pressure on them. And, you know, we've been working on it. You know, our defense in the transition defense, getting back, and so that's the thing, is they got a lot of guys who can shoot. They're offensively, they can put the points up in a hurry. They're never going to be out of the game because they have a lot of weapons offensively. Definitely got to do that. If we don't do that, we're going to have trouble.
Now let's take a look at some of our impact players to watch in this series.
And for the Island Storm, it's Al Stewart, a veteran guard who comes posting some of his best numbers in his NBL Canada career, and really, Brett, has showed no signs of slowing down. 10.5 points per game, 56% from the field, 41% from downtown, and 78% from the free throw line. So the true shooting percentage is fantastic, but then he gets you 5 assists plus 5 boards as he hopes to bring some of those great numbers into the playoffs. So really getting it done all over the basketball court. And for the Saint John Riptide, a guy that you have talked about all season long, and that is Gabe Freeman, posting MVP-type numbers, almost 24 points per game, almost 48% from the field. Then he gets you almost 10 boards.
Best of luck to the Saint John Riptide and the Island Storm in their upcoming playoff series. It might come down to the last shot in Game 5 if the regular season is any indication.